2016, April 2nd.
Oh, I'm safe. Be very quiet. My little girl's looking for me. So let me tell you the story. All right, my little girl is out to get me because she thinks I tried to cheat her out of some chocolate chips, when really I just tried to get her to use some common math sense. Let me explain. In our house, we measure ingredients using a balance scale and unit weights. Now we only have 1 pound unit weight, just one pound unit weight. We only have one half pound unit weight. We only have one of those weights, 1/3 of a pound. We only have one of those weights, 1/4 of a pound, and so forth. And so while measuring out things, we can only use a 1/3 pound weight once because we only have one of them. So we were supposed to measure out 4/5 of a pound of chocolate chips, but she could only use these weights once and find a combination of them on this side of the balance scale to make 4/5. She couldn't do it. Can you?
Reset. All right, what up, quarantine people? Back at it again here with a fantastically challenging problem from Mr. Hiroshige. Thank you so much, Mr. H, for being our guest DJ today. Although you are half of InstructaBeats, so are you really a guest in your own InstructaBeats home? I guess it's the same as what came first, the chicken or the egg? Or if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, did it really make a sound? You know, all the life questions I ponder on the regular basis. Um, who knows? Along with if the black box in an airplane can't be destroyed, why can't they figure out a way for the entire airplane to be made out of the material that the black box is made out of? Who knows? Um, so we love our sides check here at Quarantine Math and Instructed Beats. This really isn't a word problem, but we can use some of the problem solving strategies. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down all the different, actually, you know what? Really what we want to do here is we want to develop our plan. Okay, there's really nothing to identify. Although if there were, what I would do is I would have written down all the different fractions, okay, that he had written down on his paper. And they were all the unit fractions all the way up to 1/10, and then we had one whole over here as well, okay? And then I would have written this. So what he's saying is this is a balance. Um, there we go. And I'm going to show you two ways to do this today, okay? Now, there could be a multitude of ways. So here's what we're going to do. We developed our plan here, okay, which means we're going to show some work. Um, what I invite you guys to do is if you have a different way than the way I do it, that's totally fine as long as it works. Write it in the comments, okay? And then if you get one, check the comments and see if somebody else got your answer, because that would be awesome if you're the only one who got your answer. So I'm going to do it two different ways. The first way I'm going to do it is I'm going to turn 4/5, okay, into 8/10. So I'm going to turn it into an equivalent fraction using my equivalent fraction knowledge. And I'm going to pick a couple fractions that when this is kind of like an equal sign right here, right? When I add them up is going to equal 8/10. So I'm going to decompose 8/10 into these pieces, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, here's my thought process. If I turn it to tenths, I want to turn everything else to 10. So I always look at 1/2 first, all right? So if I have 1/2, okay, here's 1/2. Underneath, I'll write what it's equal to in tenths. That would be 5/10, which means somehow I need to find 3 other tenths. Well, if I take a 1/5 out of that, okay, 1/5 is going to be equal to 2/10. That gets me to 7/10, which means I just need 1/10 more. Oop, there we go. And now I know that 5/10 plus 2/10 plus 1/10 is 8/10, which is the same thing that is on that part of the equal sign. So that's one way to do it. 1/2 plus 1/5 plus 1/10. This is my first way that I figured out how to do it, okay? Let me draw another scale. This is really where you can get your thinking cap on and really think outside the box, okay? Again, it's like an equal sign. We have two expressions on either side. So I'm going to start with 4/5 right here, okay? Now, a lot of you probably crossed out the 1 right off the bat. because it was bigger. But if you take this 1/5 and add it to this side, and now we can use that 1 whole over here because 4/5 plus 1/5 equals 5/5, which is 1 whole. So some of you might not have thought that you could add to both sides of the equal sign or both sides of the balance, but in fact you can. And so the first way I did it kind of how maybe most of you did it, where I just was trying to decompose 8/10 and figure something that equaled that. In the second one, I took that next step and I started manipulating my balance using my math knowledge, thinking, okay, well, all I'm trying to do is get it balanced on both sides. So if I can add to both sides or subtract from both sides in that case, right? And so actually, not subtract. I think he wanted to do it with adding, but that's okay. I added to both sides. So if you got a different one other than those two, please write in the comments. We would love to hear from you. We'll comment back, I promise you. Um, Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. H, for doing an awesome question that makes us think outside the box, which is always something. We always want to push our thinking. Please like and subscribe the video when you comment to put your answer. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. If you're feeling sick, stay inside, guys. And as always, stay safe. Do math. I'm out.